Hello, welcome to your practice. My name's Elisa. It's so lovely to be here with you. I hope you're taking care today. Today we are going to be moving through a vinyasa practice, but one that is very slow and spacious, and one that perhaps will invite in a sense of stability. So I think something that I'm exploring in my practice at the moment is this idea of slowness and rest being of use and being just as powerful and just as strong as this quick movement, which is more traditional, I guess, in the vinyasa style of practice, is one breath per movement. But here I'd like to invite you to move through this guided practice with a few breaths per movement. And of course, everything's invitational. You take it however you need to today, according to your body, how you're feeling. You can rest, you can skip. You can also add anything. You can also speed it up if that's something that you're after today. Make it your own. So, with that said, let's begin. We'll start in a seated meditation. If you prefer to take this arrival time on your back, you're invited to do so, or any other shape that suits your body today. I'm going to stay seated upright in this easy seat position. You may like to do the same. You may like to explore different options. So you begin to gather and arrive to your practice with presence, with intention. And this may mean you close down the eyes to allow for that opportunity to feel inwards. It's beginning to direct your awareness to the present moment. Some days this is easier, more fluid than others. Not necessarily right or wrong, but just notice where you're at today. And perhaps you have spread your energy, your awareness far and wide today. Perhaps not. Beginning to draw all of that attention back home. You may like to notice how you're feeling physically, emotionally, your energy levels. You may like to bring some attention to the back body as you elongate through the spine. If you're seated upright, maybe bringing your hand to the crown of your head, feeling that connection, the weight of the hand. And then from here, can you reach the scalp, the crown of the head, even furthermore into your hand, elongating the back body. You can soften the arm down if you'd like. Creating this spaciousness through the central column of the body, the Sushumna Nadi, and this central energetic channel. Noticing your surroundings as you continue to draw your awareness in towards you. And here you may like to begin resting your awareness on the way that you're breathing. And the invitation is to introduce a pranayama, a breath technique, to your breath. If you're familiar with this practice, I invite you to take whatever practice is calling to you. Something gentle, perhaps something energizing. If you would like to be guided, the invitation here is to begin your full yogic breath. Allowing the in-breath and the out-breath to be elongated to the count of 8. And without too much instruction, I'll just invite you to let your own breath move in this way, softening through the belly, the midsection, and the high chest as you take a long breath in, perhaps to the count of 8. Emptying the breath through the high chest, the center, and the belly as you exhale. Full yogic breath, your own way today. I'd like to open our time together by acknowledging the land, acknowledging the ancestors of the land. I would like to pay my respects to the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, the traditional custodians of the land that I sit, work, practice, teach from. I'd like to acknowledge their elders, those past, those present, and those emerging. I'd also like to take this time to acknowledge the lineage, the history, the ancestors of this practice of yoga. I pay my deepest respects and gratitude to the yogins who have cultivated and shared these practices for thousands of years, as they have eventually led through evolution, through change, to us here in the West, where you and I can practice together, benefit, learn, grow. What an honor and a gift. I'm beginning to deeply arrive with an intention, if you have one. Perhaps it's to just listen to your body today as we move slowly to build strength, to build awareness, and perhaps noticing what your relationship is to moving slow. Is there resistance? Is there frustration? Or is it welcome? Is it easeful? Is it nurturing? Maybe it's none of the above, but the invitation is there to explore your relationship with how you move today. Whenever you're ready, just slowly arrive. Blink the eyes open if you haven't already, and we will begin the practice on the back body today. So, making your way all the way down. Making sure the shoulders are broad, the back of the neck is long. And maybe you lift and lower a fidget so you can press the small of the back, the lower back, fully into the ground. And you do this perhaps by drawing in the navel center and bringing some weight towards this space. So you're removing that C curve through the lower back. Gentle abdominal engagement, toes are spreading, ankles are underneath your knees. And then we'll inhale, draw the pelvis forward, tilt the pelvis forward so it's like you're arching that back. You should be able to maybe slip your hand underneath your lower back as you draw the pelvis forward. And then send the pelvis back. A couple more like this, rocking forward, rocking back, removing that space, creating that space. So moving like this as you begin to synchronize the movement with the way that you're breathing. We inhale and exhale. Bringing awareness to the connection your feet have to the earth. Can you develop that relationship? Pressing the big toe mound into the earth as you continue in your own pace, your own way of breathing to rock back and forth with the pelvis. With the Jalandhara Bandha, gently engage, just a little bit of elongation through the back of the neck. We're going to take this into some gentle bridge lifts, Setu Bandha. So the shoulders are pressing into the mat, the palms are facing the mat. So you gently inhale, bring the pubic bone towards the sky. And then exhale, lower. And as you do this, can you perhaps see if you can keep this contained and not introduce the back bend just yet? So we're inhale, lifting the hips up, just so they're in line with the knees. There's no strenuous bend in the back. Then exhale, lower. Keeping that containment through the legs. There's that gentle, energetic drawing together of the inner thighs, squeezing of the glutes, the quads. Exhale, lower. seeing if you can do this with your own breath, your own time, as slow or as quickly as you would like, but see if you can lift without really moving anywhere else in the body. Stable and slow control. Drawing the navel in as you lower. Inhale, finding that connection through the feet, the heels, the arches are engaged. We'll do 4 more like this, slow and steady, minimal movement anywhere else. Just really activating the muscles in the legs. Introducing that relationship with the breath. It may feel nice to close down the eyes as you take 3 more, lift and lower. Notice how this feels. Notice if the body or the mind wants to move faster than the body. As we introduce this slow, stable movement, stabilizing through the body as you isolate that movement through the legs, the hips. And whenever you're ready with those final 3 rounds, we'll draw that right knee in towards your chest. And you can begin taking big circles with that right knee if you'd like. You may like to extend that left leg straight as well, just introducing a little bit of fluid into that hip flexor. One more, and then taking a few rounds in the opposite direction. It might be nice to place the left hand on the left hip point just for a little bit of anchoring down. And then changing legs, bending the knees back. Maybe you elongate the right leg as you draw the left knee in, taking those circles. You can, of course, bend that right knee. You can do whatever you want, really. Just introducing a little bit of fluidity. Noticing if there is rigidity in this area. I find I'm often quite stuck or sticky in the hip flexors, depending on what time of day or what type of movement I've done, but exploring your own experience here. Taking a couple of circles the opposite direction if you haven't already. All right, and then finding your knees bent, soles of the feet placed into the mat. We'll draw the legs up into the shape of a tabletop so that the knees are stacked on top of the hips, the shins are parallel to the ground. You feel that abdominal wall start to contract. Maybe draw the navel in and remove that space between the lower back and the floor. The invitation here is to begin tapping the toes one at a time to the ground and then drawing them back up into tabletop. Just a gentle, core engaging, activating movement. 1 toe at a time, feeling that slow and steady stability, that fire perhaps beginning to build here. With your breath, invitation is to stay as you are, tapping 1 toe at a time with slow and controlled movement. Or you can begin to drop both toes to the ground at a time to maybe add an extra layer of engagement here. Finding your breath. And continuing to do this, double toe taps if you'd like. Maybe you feel that core is turned on. Perhaps adding another layer, bringing the hands to the back of the head, interlacing the fingertips, drawing to the tips of the shoulder blades as you find the top of the abdominals here. And then maybe with that half crunch, you begin lifting and lowering 1 toe at a time, and then maybe both toes at a time. So right foot in, left foot in, both toes in. We'll do 1 more each side, just waking up, stoking the fire of the center of the body, perhaps Manipura chakra, that solar plexus, radiating. With your breath, curling in and then expanding out, taking up space. You may like to rock from side to side. Find your breath. And then here, only if you don't have any lower back pain, we're going to slowly begin to rise all the way up. So curling the chin towards the throat as your legs are extended, find the abdominals as you come all the way up to a tall spine in Dandasana, then fold yourself forward, extension through the back of the legs. If this bothers your lower back, you can keep the knees bent the whole time. Otherwise, slowly rolling yourself back, flexing the feet gently, not overextending through the knees as you find your way vertebrae by vertebrae all the way to the ground. Inhale the arms up and over the head. 3 more like this, rolling your way up, slow and controlled. Watching the wobbles, if they're there, they're beautiful, they're part of the practice. Finding your tall spine, then exhale, bowing your way, forward fold over your legs. Paschimottanasana. Inhale, lift. And slow exhale as you deliver the spine, the whole back body all the way down. Arms come up. Exhale, rise. Slow and steady. Notice what comes up for you, how this feels. Tall spine and folding forward. Last round here. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Gentle engagement through the legs as you arrive on the ground. The arms come up and over. Final time. And we'll stay up this time as you slowly, slowly find the abs, the core engagement, tall back body, and then you forward fold over the legs. From here, taking the legs out into a gentle V. It's kind of hard to demonstrate this one, but so the legs are open. They could be as wide as the mat. They could be a lot wider, totally dependent on how you're feeling. I'm just going to take mine as wide as the mat for the sake of teaching in front of a camera and minimal space. So we're gonna find that tall back body. The knees can be bent. Whatever works for you and your body today to find that long, spacious spine. And then with the arms wide, we're gonna inhale and then exhale, twist to the left. Keep the spine tall, just wringing yourself out through your center. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist to the right. One more time, each side. Inhale, center. Exhale, keep the hips, the legs where they are. Twist to the left. Tall and steady, back to center. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, back to center. This time, you can plant the feet, keep the feet wide, and then find your way into Malasana, your yogic squat. You may like to fidget, you may like to move, you may like to lift and lower for a moment as you take 2 more breaths here. And it doesn't have to look like me. Any shape that you are making is wonderful. Finding that openness through the hips, elongating the lower half of the body towards the ground as you pull the heart space forward. 1 more breath. Stay for the exhale. When you're ready, heel-toeing the feet together so they're hip distance apart. Find Uttanasana, forward fold. Gentle bend through the legs. Halfway lift, inhalation. Bowing forward, exhalation. Anchor through your legs. Find that stability using the muscles of the legs as you rise. Press the ground away. Bring the arms with you. Urdhva Hastasana, fingertips, hands towards the sky. Exhale as you find your way all the way back down into a forward fold, whatever expression you're working with today. Halfway lift, inhale. Bowing forward, exhale. Plant the hands, reach the right leg back. Take this long runner's lunge for a moment, and then step the left leg back, finding your plank position. Invitation to lower the knees. So you find your breath for the count of 3, 2, hug the navel in, press the ground away, and 1. Lower the knees if they're not already there. Belly, chest, and chin to the ground. Elbows hugging in towards your side body, tops of the feet pressing into the mat. Inhale, cobra, pull the heart space forward. Exhale, lower. However deep you'd like to go. 2 more like this with your breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last time, shoulders away from the ears, hugging towards your side ribs. Inhale. Exhale, lower. As you lower, tuck the toes, perhaps pressing back into child's pose if that's where you're at today, or finding your first downward facing dog. The invitation is there to rest, to elongate, wherever you would like. External rotation of the shoulders, drawing the lower ribs in ever so slightly. You find that containment through the front body, the tailbone lifts, and maybe the heels lift and lower with your breath. Looking in between your hands, coming up high on the balls of the feet, bend the knees, find your way to the top of the mat, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, inhale, bowing forward, exhale. Rising tall, inhalation. However you get there, finding your way back into a forward fold, exhalation. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward. Plant the hands, step the left foot back this time. Enjoy a long lunge for a moment. And then the right foot comes to meet the left in your plank position. Option to lower the knees. We'll hold plank for the count of 5. Navel draws in for 4. Doming the armpits, softness through the elbows, 2. And 1, lower the knees, belly, chest, and chin with control. Cobra, 1 breath in, rolling shoulders back, heart space forward. Exhalation, downward facing dog. Full breath in. Long breath out. With your right leg leading on your in-breath, lifting it high here. Integrating it in line with the spine, 3-legged dog. External rotation of the shoulders, breath is in here. Exhale, right knee to right elbow, shift forward, finding plank position as you hug that right knee in towards the right elbow. Sweep it back, slow and steady, your breath in, 3-legged dog. Exhale, right knee, left elbow coming forward into plank, drawing the navel in, pressing the ground away. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Finding that slow control. Exhale, knee to nose as you come forward into plank position, drawing the belly, the thigh in. Exhale, stepping right foot in between your hands and lower the left knee down. Whew. Finding your own version of this pose, your own alignment that feels safe, supported. Right knee on top of right ankle. Pull the heart space forward as the fingertips stay low. Stay for the exhale. When you're ready, the arms may lift on your in-breath. You settle on your out-breath. 1 or 2 more rounds of breath here. Finding your awareness in this shape, drawing your right hip back in space. Notice what is here for you. Full breath in, long breath out. Both hands to the inside of the right foot here. As you pivot that left heel behind you to find the back body. So the left heel's behind the left butt cheek. The right fingertips stay inside of the right heel, the right ankle. You find this modified side angle pose. Maybe the right fingertips stay on the floor or they come up to the right thigh, forearm to thigh. Left arm can sweep up and over wherever you're at. Big side body stretch. 2 more breaths in this shape. You're using, if your hand is in front of the right foot, the weight and the pressure between the leg and the arm to perhaps anchor you back into a deeper twist towards the sky. Full breath in. Long breath out. 1 more round of breath here, and the exhalation takes you back into your long lunge. Low, long lunge. And then you may like to extend that right leg, Ardha Hanumanasana, only if you'd like. 2 breaths, your own expression here. Toes facing you as you softly bow towards that right leg. Full breath in. Long breath out. Stepping into the right foot when you're ready, lifting the left knee off the ground. Stepping into your right leg as you come into perch pose. So you're going to balance on the right foot, draw the left heel towards the left bum, and the left knee in line with the right knee. As you bow forward, drawing that left heel towards your left butt cheek, containing everything in towards your center as you bow over that right leg. Your fingertips can support you here, maybe even on a block or a prop. Can you trust that weight to hinge forward? One more breath. Exhale, left foot meets the right, finding hip distance apart or big toes to touch as you sink deeply into your chair pose. Draw the navel in, elongate the lower half of the body, and the arms can come to Anjali Mudra at heart center or biceps in line with the ears as you sink even deeper into your chair. Find your breath rocking into the heels, maybe lift the toes. Shaking is welcome. Can you explore this stoking of energy, this stoking of heat perhaps? 2 more breaths. You've got this. 1 more breath. Navel draws in. Exhale, bow forward, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, inhalation. Bowing forward, exhalation. Rising tall as you inhale, slow and steady. Pouring yourself all the way back down as you exhale. Halfway lift, find expansiveness. Bowing forward, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back into plank position. Flowing through a vinyasa of your choice, or you may like to bring knees, belly, chest, and chin to the earth, slow and controlled. Back bend of choice as you pull the heart space forward. We'll meet in a downward facing dog, but child's pose is always there if that's more inviting. Few breaths here, arriving. Reconnecting, perhaps back with your intention. Noticing how the mind, the body feel. If we've moved through one round or one side of this slow, strong, hopefully expansive movement. Noticing what is here for you. 1 more breath. Together, in through the nose. Long breath out. When you're ready, stabilizing through the right foot as you lift that left leg into the air. Inhale. Exhale, shift forward into plank as you draw the left knee towards the left elbow, hugging in through the oblique. Slow and steady. Exhale, 3-legged dog. Inhale here. Exhale across the body over to the right elbow as you shift forward into plank, shoulders on top of your hands. Full breath in. Exhale, 3-legged dog. Take an in-breath here if you'd like. Exhale, knee to nose as you squeeze that left thigh towards your belly, shift forward into plank. Breath in. Breath out, steps that left foot in between your hands. You can guide it there if you'd like. Lowering the right toe, the right knee to the ground. A moment in your low lunge. Fingertips continue to frame that left foot as you draw your heart space forward, lunging deeper. Left knee stays stacked on top of left ankle. Gaze is forward, shoulders melting away from the ears. Full breath in, long breath out. Rising when you feel ready into your low lunge. Taking 2 more breaths, slow, spacious movement. Again, any creative addition that you would like to add to this sequence, I invite that wholeheartedly. And do what feels best for you here. Full breath in. Long breath out. Your next exhalation, both hands to the inside of the left foot this time, pivoting into your modified side angle by bringing that right heel behind you. And the left fingertips can stay inside of the left thigh as you sweep that right arm up and over. Perhaps the left forearm is on top of the left thigh here. Finding your breath. The more you find that contact between arm and leg, perhaps you can invite in that opening of the chest towards the ceiling and an expansiveness through the right side body, energy through the right fingertips, stability through the points of contact on the earth. One more breath here. Your next exhalation, both hands frame the left foot. So you find that long lunge once more. And then you tuck the right toes. Oh, sorry, we'll take Ardha Hanumanasana here. So when you're ready, shifting the hips back, if that suits you, finding an expansion through the back of the left leg, toes towards the face or the ceiling. And again, freedom to move, if you would like, in any way that suits you. One more breath here. And stepping into the left foot as you tuck the right toes, lift the right knee. Preparing for that perch pose as you strengthen your connection. Left foot into the ground. There's a lot going on in the laneway from where I am right now. When you're ready, stepping into that left foot as you draw that right heel towards your right butt cheek, right knee in line with left knee, and bow your way forward. Maybe you have some supportive props underneath your hands. Maybe you let that contraction through the leg, the belly, that coiling of energy back into your center allow you to trust that bow forward. Full breath in here. Exhale, right foot meets the left, finding your version of Utkatasana, chair pose, sinking into your hips. So you drop the sit bones towards the earth, draw the navel in, and find that strength wherever you can find it. Drawing the belly in, arms come up, or in prayer position, Anjali Mudra, in front of the heart. Can you maybe play around with hovering the toes off the ground just for fun? Sink more weight into the heels, draw the heart space forward. 2 more breaths. Can you move towards where that fire is beginning to cultivate? Notice how you feel. 1 more breath, you're doing so well. Exhale, Uttanasana, bow your way forward, expand through the back of the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow. Inhale to rise, strong legs, full breath. Maybe a little back bend when you find your standing position, and pour your way all the way back down. Plant the hands, step both feet back in your own way as you move through a vinyasa here. You are welcome to skip and rest. We'll meet in a downward facing dog. Full breath in. Long breath out. The next time you exhale, lowering the knees all the way to the earth with control. So you come to sit on your heels. And then maybe sinking to one side, the right hip perhaps here. So you take fire log pose. So the right leg is going to be on the bottom. And if you have any blankets or props available to you, they might be useful here. So the right leg is going to be on the bottom. And then we're going to stack that left leg on top of the right. The left ankle will be on top of the right thigh, flexing that left foot. And making sure that the sit bones can find a grounded sensation here. Maybe you slide a blanket or a prop underneath you here. And notice this spaciousness between my knee on the left side and my right ankle. If this is the case for you, bringing a prop or a pillow and putting it underneath your leg here, just so you can feel that support if that knee cannot make contact with that right leg. And from here, flexing the feet gently just to protect the knee joint. We find length, and you might already be feeling this outer hip stretch. If not, you may like to bow forward over the legs. Only as deep as you would like. Hands can be anywhere. 2 more full breaths in here. Slowly beginning to rise your way up. And unraveling the legs as you extend that left leg out to the left. Keep the right leg on the ground if you can, or if you would like. Sole of the right foot comes to the inseam of the left leg. And here again, maybe a little bit of assistance through the sit bones, a little bit of prop happening under there. And the invitation is to take either option. So you may like to twist the torso so that the shoulders are straddling that left leg. Inhale the arms up and bow over the left leg like a forward fold. Or you may like to bring the left arm to the inside of the left leg and that right arm sweeps up and over. So you're getting a little bit more of a lateral stretch here. Third option is perhaps you bring the left arm on top of the right thigh, and that right arm sweeps up and over and maybe makes contact with the left foot, and you draw the heart space underneath the right armpit. Totally up to you. Whatever works in your body in this moment. Take 3 full cycles of breath. And when you're ready, slowly coming out of whatever expression you've chosen. And another invitation, totally optional, is to bring that right hand to the outside of the right hip and take stargazer, grounding through the right shin and the left heel as you lift the hips up, the pubic bone up in space. Take a little expansive breath in here. And exhale, lower yourself to the ground. Slow and controlled, taking the other side. So this time, fire log pose, the left leg will be on the bottom. And this side might be completely different. So just being open and compassionate towards yourself here. Flexing the left foot, that right ankle comes on top of the left thigh. And again, if there's a gap or some spaciousness between your leg and your foot, just sliding a little cushion. See if this works. Something underneath your leg. Otherwise, you may like to stay with an upright spine, and you'll feel it here with a gentle flex of the feet. Or you may like to bow over your legs. Can you invite in this opportunity to explore how you're feeling in this moment with whatever is present or being presented to you? This may be a train of thought or a response from within. Whatever it is, can we use this practice, this self-inquiry through connection to body, to breath, to notice, to slowly, day by day, each time you show up to your mat to practice, getting to know yourself that much more. One more breath here. Gently coming out of that stretch and extending the right leg out to the right, left sole of the foot to the inside of the right thigh. And again, options here for you to explore your own way. Maybe you square the chest so you straddle the right leg. And of course, that right leg doesn't have to be straight completely. Your own way is beautiful. Or maybe right arm to the inside of the right leg. Left arm reaches up. Perhaps kind of bind action going on here. Right arm reaches to the top of the right, the left thigh, left arm up and over. Two more breaths. Slowly coming out of your stretch of choice. And again, an invitation to take that stargazer. Left hand finds the outside of the left hip. So you sweep the right arm up and stabilize on the right heel, the left shin. Big breath in here. Long breath out as you slowly, with control, with kindness, deliver yourself back onto the ground. And we'll step the feet together. Step the feet together and slowly roll yourself all the way onto your back. Spreading your way out into Shavasana. Of course, the invitation is there to add anything you may like to complete your practice, a twist or an inversion, something else perhaps. I will guide you gently in and out of a very brief Shavasana. Honoring yourself for the exploration of slow, strong, perhaps spacious movement. This final piece where you lie yourself to rest, to integrate all of this information, this experience. If you have the time, I encourage you to stay as you are, resting, acknowledging the rest, acknowledging this slow energy that you've created. If you would like to close the practice for the sake of time, the invitation is to begin breathing deeply with intention as you invite in this vitality, this movement perhaps through the body, a sway, a yawn, a stretch that eventually carries you into the fetal position where you may rest for a breath or two curled up, or into a seated position facing me with a tall spine, allowing a moment or two for your awareness to arrive back here. Crown of the head reaching, lifting simultaneously as the hips anchor. Exploring this space between earth and sky. You may like to bring right and left palm together in front of your heart space, connecting the two hemispheres of the brain, the body. And a moment in Anjali Mudra, this mudra of gratitude and humility, to acknowledge 3 things you're grateful for. Feeling into gratitude, the emotional feeling of gratitude. You may like to bow forward and all the way to the ground to seal in your practice. And I say thank you so very much for joining me today. Please, as always, get in touch if you need me for anything, have any questions or feedback. Otherwise, until next time, thank you.